Blessed day everyone. The topics in this video are the mandatory Philippine government deductions from employees' salary and the computation of net pay. Let us assume that you have just been hired to work for a certain company and you were told that your monthly salary would be 40,000 pesos. Assuming further that you will be paid on a monthly basis, should you expect to receive exactly 40,000 pesos every month? Or assuming you will be paid on a semi-monthly basis, meaning twice a month, should you expect to receive 20,000 pesos every payday? Actually, you should not, because there are certain compulsory government deductions which will be made from your gross income or gross salary, specifically your SSS or Social Security System contribution, Philhealth premium contribution, Pag-Ibig contribution, and of course, your income tax, which is called withholding tax. Your income tax deduction from your salary is known as withholding tax because your employer would not give that amount to you, but would instead deduct that tax from your salary and later remit it to the BIR or Bureau of Internal Revenue. Let's have this problem. The following pertains to the employees of Sagittarius Music Museum. So here we are given the names and position of the company's employees as well as their monthly income. Required. Letter A. Assuming Sagittarius pays its employees on a monthly basis and considering the mandatory government deductions from gross income or gross salary, compute the taxable income and the net income or net pay of each employee. Requirement B. Assuming Sagittarius pays its employees on a semi-monthly basis and considering the mandatory government deductions from gross income or gross salary on the second half of each month, compute the net pay each employee would receive at the end of each month. Let me do the requirements for Abby, whose monthly salary is 30,000 pesos. For requirement A, we have to assume that the company pays salary once a month. So the gross salary of Abby every payday is 30,000 pesos. Then we deduct from that amount her SSS contribution. This SSS table must be our basis for her SSS contribution. Look at the first column of the table, the range of compensation. Keeping in mind that Abby's monthly salary is 30,000 pesos. Abby's 30,000 pesos salary falls under the range of 24,750 to over. Using that row now, look at the second to the last column. The total EE column. And we can see the amount of 1,125, which is Abby's total SSS contribution, composed of the regular Social Security contribution amounting to 900 pesos and the mandatory Provident Fund amounting to 225 pesos. By the way, EE means employee, while ER stands for employer. Notice that there are columns for the employer or company because companies also contribute to the SSS benefits of their employees. But anyway, again, Abby's monthly SSS contribution amounts to 1,125 pesos. So let's place that amount in our table for the computation of her taxable income and eventually her net pay. Next deduction is Philhealth contribution. Unless suspended for one reason or another, such as the COVID-19 pandemic, the Philhealth premium rate for 2022 is increased to 4%. Meaning, the monthly salary of an employee should be multiplied by 4% or 0.04 in terms of decimal to get the monthly premium to be divided equally between the employee and the employer. Please take note, however, that there is a salary floor of 10,000 pesos and salary ceiling of 80,000 pesos, which means that for an employee who earns below the salary floor of 10,000 pesos, the 4% is to be multiplied not by his monthly salary but by 10,000 pesos to get the monthly Philhealth premium to be divided between the employee and the employer. While for an employee with a salary of more than 80,000 pesos, the basis of the 4% is the ceiling of 80,000 pesos, not the actual salary of more than 80,000 pesos. For example, an employee has a salary of 9,000 pesos in a month. Because his salary is below the income floor of 10,000 pesos, the premium rate of 4% is multiplied not by 9,000 pesos but by 10,000 pesos. And therefore, the Philhealth premium contribution is 400 pesos to be shared equally by the employee and his employer. Let's say another employee earns 85,000 pesos per month. The Philhealth premium contribution is not 4% multiplied by 85,000 pesos, but 4% multiplied by the salary ceiling of 80,000 pesos, which is equal to 3,200 to be divided equally between the employee and the employer. Going back to Abby, because her salary of 30,000 pesos is neither below the salary floor of 10,000 pesos nor above the ceiling of 80,000 pesos, to compute her Philhealth contribution, we have to base the 4% premium rate on her actual salary of 30,000 pesos. So 30,000 pesos salary of Abby multiplied by 4% or 0.04 in terms of decimal and then divided by 2. That would give us the amount of 600 pesos. Next is Pag-Ibig contribution. It says here, the maximum monthly compensation is 5,000 pesos, meaning the maximum contribution of a member is 100 pesos. That is 5,000 pesos multiplied by 2%. While his employer share is also 100 pesos. That is 5,000 pesos multiplied by 2%. An employee earning more than 5,000 pesos every month is automatically deducted 100 pesos, while his employer will add another 100 pesos. The combined amount serves as a monthly contribution to Pag-Ibig. Since Abby earns more than 5,000 pesos a month, then her monthly Pag-Ibig contribution is 100 pesos. By the way, Pag-Ibig stands for pagtutulungan, ikaw, bangko, industriya, at gobyerno. The next step is to add the SSS, Philhealth, and Pag-Ibig contributions of Abby. That gives us the amount of 1,825. Deduct that amount from her gross salary of 30,000 pesos and we get the taxable income amounting to 28,175 pesos, which is one of the requirements in letter A. Based on the taxable income of 28,175, we can now compute the withholding tax of Abby. This is the withholding tax table from the BIR, which is effective until the end of 2022. Because Sagittarius deducts from its employee's salary the withholding tax only once a month, since the problem says that it pays its employee's salary every month, then we have to concentrate on this monthly withholding tax table. But keep in mind that our basis for the withholding tax computation must be the taxable income of Abby amounting to 28,175. Considering the taxable income of 28,175 pesos, which money column do we need? This first money column, this second, this third, or what? This second money column. Why? Because notice the compensation level for the first money column is 20,833 and below. For the second column, it's 20,833. While for the third, it's 33,333. Because Abby's taxable income of 28,175 is more than 20,833 but less than 33,333, then we have to use the second money column, which compensation level of 20,833 is lower than the taxable income of 28,175. So we need to concentrate now on this second money column. It says here, the computation of the withholding tax is 0.0 plus 20% over compensation level. That means Abby's withholding tax is 28,175 minus 20,833 to get the excess. Then multiply that amount by 20% and then add the 0. That would give us the amount of 1,468.40. Let's place this amount now in our net pay computation table. Taxable income of 28,175 minus withholding tax of 1,468.40 equals the net income or net pay of Abby amounting to 26,706.60. For requirement B, since all the mandatory deductions are made only once a month, and that is during the second half of each month, the amount of the monthly deductions must be the same as in letter A. The only difference is that in letter B, the gross salary of Abby for the second half of a month is only half of her 30,000 pesos monthly salary because the company pays salary semi-monthly or twice a month. Now, you may want to try computing the requirements of the problem for each of the other employees of Sagittarius. Thank you for watching.